LessCore Plus allows you to easily manipulate data in relational databases choosing a special method called JSON Relational Mapping, JR mapping in short. JR mapping allows you to easily map the table structure in relational databases into JSON data structures. That way, you can easily create API endpoints and use the data in your low-code backend. To show how it works, let me create a schema. A schema is no other than a database diagram. We call it demo schema. Let's add two entities into the diagram. First entity we'll call it customer. The other entity we'll call it contact detail. And let's add fields to it. Name and contact detail. Let's add three fields: address, phone, and the email. And in here you can select the data type. These data types represent the data types that are in MySQL text, and here also we will change the name to text. And also, as you can see, these two entities have the field ID by default. When you configure ID, you can see the ID is automatically configured to be the primary key, and also it automatically increases as it uh, insert data into the table. And let me create a relationship now. To create a relationship, you need to just scroll down and select the contact detail. So when you create a relationship, it will automatically create two fields in each entity. In the parent entity, which is a customer, it creates a child reference called contact detail. And in the contact detail, it automatically creates a parent reference to customer. So the reason why it's there like that is because in JSON, as you can remember, it uses a parent-child kind of relationship. So this diagram actually represents a JSON data structure, but in the underlying implementation will be relational databases. So, and as I mean, as you know, there are different kinds of relations in relational database tables. For example, there are one-to-many relationship, one-to-one relationships, and many-to-many relationships. But in JSON relationship mapping, there are different kinds of relationships. Uh, the default relationship is aggregation. Yeah, but first let me explain what composition relationship is. Composition relationship is that when a row in the customer table is deleted, a row in the contact, all the rows related to that customer in contact details will be deleted. And if you select aggregation as a relationship, when a customer row is deleted, the rows related to that customer in contact detail table will be kept without deleting. But if you select association, a contact detail uh, row can be owned by many customers. So this actually defines the strength of the relationship. And also you can select an array, whether the relationship is an array or not. That way the customer can own multiple contact details. So as you can see, when the field is renamed after selecting this array. So let's remove cells for now. And let's keep aggregation. Let me save it. And let me create the database tables now. So first you need to connect this diagram into a database. Let me select the connection first. We'll call it. First in here you can configure the database names and everything. This name we'll use the MySQL in the local host and we'll use the default port. And let me enter the password and username in my local MySQL. Click on OK. Let me save it once again. Now let me go to the sandbox deployment admin workflow. So the sandbox deployment comes default to all the backend applications. And to create the tables, there are special block called update MySQL schema. In this block, you only need to select the demo schema, and let's see how it works. Let's try to run the admin workflow. If you so it's successful. If you go to view logs, you can see the create statements are automatically generated. If you go to the my local MySQL, you can see the demo DB is created with its tables. As you can see, the foreign keys are also automatically created. So now let me create an endpoint to retrieve data from that table. Let's select create a new blank API endpoint. Let's call it customers. Yeah, so the API endpoint is created. Now let's retrieve all the rows in the customer table, and you need to drag and drop this block, read many records from MySQL schema, and set the response of the API endpoint to the result of this block. Let's select the demo schema, and yeah, we will create a new preset called Wipro customers, and let's say the custom entity. And yeah, let's construct the JSON structure like this. So that's how JSON relationship mapping works. That way you can easily construct the JSON structure without worrying about the underlying tables. So let me click OK, and let me run this endpoint. As you can see, it doesn't return any data, it returned an empty array. To insert data to the API endpoint, let me create another post endpoint. Customer. So let's save the post data to the tables. There's a block called insert records to MySQL, and using this block you can get the post variable. Similarly, you can get parameters, query parameters, and other things as well. Only thing is that you need to select the demo schema and select the entity as customer. And let me set the response to this. And if you go to the API documentation, as you can see, these two inputs are the documentation for these two endpoints automatically created. You can also select the response, so the post the schema and post entity, so that it will also be reflected on the API documentation as schemas. As you can see, uh, the if you select the schema, it will show the default request structure of the post endpoint. Now let me run the endpoint. When you click on this button, it will automatically create the request structure object. Let's enter some dummy data. So let me run the endpoint now. If you go to view logs, as you can see here, user scripts are automatically generated. Now let's get back to the get endpoint. If you run it, as you can see here, the JSON structure is automatically constructed using JSON relationship mapping. Let me save it first. And also let me insert another record. We can also add filtering. Let me run it. It only returns the ID with 1. And if we change the filtering to, if you remove the filtering, it will return all the objects. Similarly, you can create endpoints to update the customer, and also you can create an endpoint to delete the customer. Similarly, you can get the post object here and update the records in MyStreamer. You also, let's say, the scheme as this. Let me run this first. Let me run this endpoint now. As you can see here, it automatically creates the update statements here. Let me run this endpoint now. See, the name of the ID1 is automatically updated. So that's actually the basics about how to create API endpoints using JSON relationship mapping. So